Thank you all for joining. I know we are the second to last panel, and I know it's been a long day, and we're a little over time, but thank you all for staying. I'm going to quickly introduce myself. My name is Matt Grandchamp. I lead sales and marketing for NowThis. We create Gen Z shows specifically for females, and so very, very excited to be on this panel with an amazing group of marketers. And even more exciting for this panel is we get to talk about champagne, cookies, and bread bowls. And so for us, we thought since it's 4 o'clock on Thursday, it's a little bit time for us to enjoy all of these products. So while we have this panel and while they do introductions, I'm going to open some champagne and cookies for us to enjoy while we start this panel.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Peter Hughes. I'm with 72 and Sunny. I'm a group creative director there, and I lead the Panera account, which we've been working on for the last year since the pitch. It's almost been exactly a year. We've done a lot of work together, but I'm excited to share some of it today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tatyana Ilyin, and I lead digital and communications at Moët Hennessy, USA, for the champagne and sparkling portfolio. And so I oversee all paid, owned, and earned amplification channels for our amazing 6 champagne and sparkling wine houses.
Hi, everyone. I'm MaryKate Lampron, and I'm the Director of Brand Engagement at Panera. I am new to the Panera team. New to the Panera team in the last 4 months, but have been hyper-focused on driving brand engagement and brand love for Panera. And previous to Panera, I was at Dunkin'.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sabrina Sierant. I'm with Mondelēz, and I currently lead our snacking on the go business across our cookies and crackers. But prior to this, about a month ago, I was leading our Chips Ahoy business for the U.S. So today I'll be talking about that. Ooh. Sorry to make you guys jealous.
Also, we're in a different order than what we practiced, so we're gonna play musical chairs here. But we are gonna, as we're starting to drink our champagne, we're gonna actually start with champagne. So, Tatyana, why don't you tell us a little bit about the collaboration that you're talking about today?
Yeah, of course. So earlier this year, I'm not sure if many of you know, but Moët and Chandon and cultural icon Pharrell Williams teamed up to reimagine and own the birthday occasion and experience through the eyes of those that celebrate you. So for generations, just for a little bit of context, Moët has been the preferred toast for birthdays, and we have it here today. So yes, toasted panels. So we really saw this as a unique opportunity to establish the birthday occasion as a new Moët moment or a new Moët occasion, while also driving brand desirability and cultural relevancy with partnering with someone like Pharrell. So what we found was that each day, 22 million people around the world celebrate their birthdays. And it's a ritual filled with joy, gratitude, and love, and specifically for those that gather to share it with you. So it's not necessarily about the celebration itself, but it's those that you share it with. And for us, as an icon of joyful celebrations, and we're celebrating now, and also the fact that our brand ethos is that life is better when shared, this was really the perfect collaboration for us to reignite brand love in a very critical point of our brand reinvention journey. So what I'll say is to create the distinctive and emotional product offer that we came out with, we dove into the archives of the house, and we found that what is the iconic tie on the bottle that you can actually see here was actually a bow in 1892. And a bow is a symbol of togetherness, generosity, and joy. And it's really one of the key elements. Thank you for the presentation. It's really one of the key elements of this product offer, which ranges from the bow creation bottle to an outstanding Uber jewel masterpiece to the limited edition that you guys can all buy yourselves in store or online, to custom night tools and birthday rituals and experiences that we created for high energy and vibe dining accounts, to also our celeb gifting offers and experiences that included an entire bar cart and the full array of bottles, a custom cake, candles, balloons, so a full birthday experience for those people and our friends of brand. And so all of this was amplified in a really big way through the line. So from a paid media perspective, we had a disruptive, omni-channel, full funnel campaign a robust PR and communication strategy that included star-studded gifting to the likes of Kim Kardashian and Bad Bunny and Gigi Hadid. And fun fact, Kim Kardashian actually organically posted her gifting on her Instagram to her 360 million followers, which was very exciting for us. To, of course, organic social presence and e-commerce and really strong commercial visibility in the on and off premise. And so what did this do for our brand and business? It had a very, very positive effect. So from a metric standpoint, outperformed all of our targets and benchmarks in terms of paid media and PR. But beyond that, it really moved the needle on brand health, on brand equity across the full funnel. We saw baseline desirability scores grow post-campaign, and we saw a really significant business impact in terms of case depletions in the first half of the year. So it was a really, really fantastic opportunity and collaboration. And so I know we're going to watch the video in a second, but I did want to tell you the story of what you're about to see, which is Pharrell and his friends rushing to get to a birthday party in the heart of Paris. And of course, when we get together with friends, we all know we have that one friend who's late, one who brings the balloons, the flowers, the cake, and one that always brings the champagne. So let's take a look at the video.
Hi, how are you? Happy birthday. I'm on my way. Can't wait to celebrate.
S'il vous plaît, une baguette. You guys are almost here. I'm ready. I have a card that you all need to sign. Ah.
Yeah, I was reading. I'm literally on my way. I'm leaving now.
Who's bringing the champagne? I'm on it. Moët Chandon.
So thank you for showing us the video. And really, we want to ask, how did you ensure that this collaboration spoke authentically to your audience?
Yeah, there were a few elements to this. First, I would say shared values. So there were shared values between Moët and between Pharrell, specifically around celebration, optimism, and this idea of human connection. Both our brand and Pharrell himself stand for that in their personal and professional lives. There was also a shared vision of collective joy that was really at the heart of this, to take something that was really unique and deeply personal and universal and really celebrate the people that come together around you to celebrate you. We also know that Pharrell is an organic lover of Moët. He's quoted as saying that Moët, when he was old enough to toast, Moët was actually his frame of reference, that it was the tradition, the ritual for him. And also we tapped into a really organic and universal moment that every single person experiences in their lives. So it was deeply emotional, and I think that's really what allowed us to connect on a much deeper level with our consumers.
Thank you. So we're moving from champagne to cookies now. So Sabrina, can you tell us a little bit about your collaboration?
Yeah, thank you. And also, I love that. And I now need to bring Moët, by the way, to my husband's birthday party that's coming up. So for Chips Ahoy, I'm going to talk about a collab we did with Stranger Things for the upcoming 5th and final season. We were really excited about it. We actually launched the collab in August, so a little early in anticipation of it, and did a couple of firsts for the brands, for our fans across packaging, product, and engagement. So for packaging, we really leaned into the nostalgia of both brands and decided, since Chips Ahoy was around in the 80s when also the show takes place, we were going to take our core Chips Ahoy pack and do a pack takeover with 1980s graphics on it. It's the first time we've ever done that before. Second, for product, we actually decided to launch, and I think you can see it over there, limited edition Stranger Things cookies. Now, these are not the typical cookies that you see. So typically, we have a blonde base cake, but these are inspired by the Upside Down. So they're actually very chocolatey on the outside and dark, and have these delicious fudge chips in them. And there's something unique about them as well, and something mysterious. On the inside, they have a red strawberry flavored filling that was really inspired by the rifts that break through in Stranger Things as the portal to the Upside Down. So really excited to launch this cookie, and we did it, you can't tell now, but this package, we launched it in our first ever glow-in-the-dark graphics, and they have a lot of design elements around it that are specific to Stranger Things in the show. So when fans are watching it at night, they'll see it kind of glow with some little hidden nuggets. And then third, to drive additional engagement, we decided to launch an augmented reality game where fans could actually enter the Upside Down, and I'll give you a sneak peek in a minute, to go and save these cookies and rescue them from the Upside Down before Demogorgons grab them. And doing so enters them for a chance to win exclusive Stranger Things merch. And also the grand prize was a Stranger Things Eddie Munson-inspired guitar. So this went over really well with fans. We're really excited. And we supported this entire collab, or we are supporting this collab with a full 360 campaign from in-store at your local Walmart, Target, ShopRite, as well as online with influencers, our own content, and an earned. It's an active campaign right now, but I will tell you, it's already blowing all of our KPIs out of the water. It's a huge success, and fans are loving it. The Stranger Things fans, as well as the Chips Ahoy fans. So a couple quick stats. For Chips Ahoy has delivered the highest earned media of any campaign for us, delivering over 8 billion earned impressions, which is insane. This is what I call Oreo level for us. So Chips Ahoy is like the younger sibling of Oreo. So really excited about that, and we're not even done. So cliffhanger, we have a fun activation coming in New York and Atlanta later on this month. So stay tuned to either see it in person or online. The second thing is really great creative. So we partnered with Netflix really closely, and along not just like our own produced creative, but with influencers, they saw every piece of creative, and we're getting viewed through rates above benchmarks, engagement rates above benchmarks, so really pleased with the creative. And then third, the augmented reality game is surpassing our benchmarks. People are playing this for 3 minutes, which maybe doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're in the Upside Down with Demogorgons chasing you and saving cookies, it's wild, and it beats our benchmarks. And then lastly, this is the biggest limited edition Chips Ahoy has ever had. So it's not only, our pre-sale sold out in less than 24 hours. It's driving over 30 basis points of share growth for the brand, which is huge, and is our fastest turning flavor right now after chocolate chip. So I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek, one of a 20-second video and then a little demo of the AR game. You guys are all welcome to go play. If you want to also, win some of the merch, it's also very cool. So we could click play.
Code red. The new Chips Ahoy cookies are stuck in the Upside Down. Play the game now to bring them back.
There's no sound on this. I turned it off, but you could just see a couple different views of like being in Stranger Things. So you can do this with your phone and play yourself for the next couple months. Awesome.
Great. So beyond knowing Stranger Things is a huge moment, what was the spark that made this collab feel worth pursuing for you?
Yeah, so first I'll set a little bit of context. Chips Ahoy, it's a billion-dollar brand that has an ambition to be the go-to chocolate chip sweet treat for Gen Z households. And we know that for this audience, modernity and driving cultural relevance is key to winning with them. And so we've had success in the past with doing other collabs and partnerships, and it will continue to be a part of the strategy. For this one specifically, we actually did a small activation even before this was born a few years ago. So I know right now they have the Broadway show like across the street. Has anyone been to that, by the way? It is amazing. If you are a Stranger Things fan, go. But they also, a couple years ago, had Stranger Things live experiences in New York. So we actually partnered with one in Seattle. And I don't know if anyone has anyone watched the show, by the way, so I know who I'm talking to? Yes. Okay, great. There are fans out here. Thank you. So I think in season 3, there's a Scoops Ahoy shop. When we saw that, we were like, oh, Scoops Ahoy, Chips Ahoy, yes, we have to be a part of this. And so we partnered with a company called Fever and took over in the Stranger Things live experience the Scoops Ahoy shop with Chips Ahoy ice cream sandwiches, and fans loved it. So after that, we knew there was something there with this property and with this brand. They're both beloved by Gen Z. They have this element of nostalgia. And while Chips Ahoy is the brand that's here for happy and provides this spark of happiness every time you bite into it and brings a smile with every bite, it doesn't seem like you would partner with a thrilling drama and more, a little bit dark. But actually, if you think about the show, there are all these happy moments throughout where the cast and the characters come together many times over snacks and ice cream and create these happy memories that keep them going. So when we heard about season 5, we jumped on it and we were like, we have to be a part of this. It is going to be a huge cultural moment, and we're still starting to see it build right now. People are so excited for it. And I think the finale, like the last episode, airs, I think, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So yes, New Year's Day. I'm looking at my team, by the way, who's in the audience to do all the heavy lifting. But yep, that was the spark.
Amazing. So from champagne to cookies to now soup season, as it's getting cold outside, we got to go to our favorite soup spot for our bread bowl. So MaryKate, why don't you tell us a little bit about the collaboration you did for Panera?
Yeah, that's great. And the results were incredible of that. And I love the nostalgic element of the packaging. And I think also it's a great segue into the nostalgia that we tapped into. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys about a campaign that we launched very recently for Panera. And I know we ended the last panel with, are you ready for it? But what we say at Panera is, are you ready for it? And what we ask ourselves when we launch a campaign and try to tap into culture are 3 things. Those 3 questions are, is this going to be relevant for our brand and our business? Is this relevant in culture? And is this relevant to our audience? So when we were launching our campaign in the fall, what we say is the unofficial start to fall is when soup season happens. So even though it was 80 degrees in New York this week, it is now officially soup season at Panera when people are, starting to get more cozy and coming back into our cafes. What we see at the same time is that people are also rewatching their nostalgic TV shows. One in particular that we see a large conversation online that is, fandoms every single year are resurging and fighting about their favorite TV boyfriends. So this year we partnered with co-stars Jared Padalecki and Matt Suzuki from Gilmore Girls to partner with us to launch our fall menu and our fall soups. What we loved about this partnership is that we built upon the connections and the personalities that they had on the show and the dynamics that they had on the show, and we connected them to our soup. So when you watch this video that we're about to show, we, took our fireside chili and we really connected him to Jared Padalecki. If you watch, the show, he is the homey, dependable, classic boyfriend. Autumn Squash is the more sophisticated, rich choice, and black bean soup is the brooding favorite that is back at Panera after 7 years of being off of our menu. So we, really tried to find that intersection of culture, what our brand really needed to prioritize during the season, and bringing those two things together, but then also looking at what was important for our audience. So in looking at these fandoms, particularly Jared, which is where the collaboration lived across our channels and with Jared's channels, his audience, he has over 6 million followers on Instagram and on TikTok. He really skews across millennials and millennial female. And that was exactly who we were trying to reach with this collaboration and getting into our cafes. So again, trying to find that trifecta and that sweet spot between those three things is really where we were playing in this collaboration, and having the conversations as well of trying to identify, what we were trying to get out of it, of driving earned media impressions and driving social conversation, which we saw really strong results in both of those areas. So we can take a look at the video.
We do this every fall, and I'm tired of it. Okay, I mean, what is wrong with being the reliable one, the one that's always there for you? I'm sure I know what you're gonna say. It's not that fancy, but it feels like home.
Hey man, listen. Some people just might want a little something more sophisticated.
No, all they really want is the bad boy. The one that left without even saying goodbye. And then what now? It's back and hotter than ever?
Whoa, Jared. Black bean soup is back? Oh my God. It's brooding. Mysterious. Hot.
Fireside chili is hot too. It's like the perfect first bowl of soup.
I don't know. What about autumn squash soup? I mean, it's so rich.
Wow. You guys are really passionate about soup. I've got a black bean soup for Tess.
It makes me want soup right now. But so we're going to talk. Peter, what surprised you the most about the way people engaged with this collaboration once it came out?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing that was most surprising is how blown away we were by the reaction. People went nuts over it. And everyone loves the sound of champagne opening, but to get people to feel a way about soup is something we got to really try for. And honestly, I think, what is it, the second most engaged post we've ever put out for Panera?
Yeah, it's the second most engaged and second most viewed asset on our organic social page ever.
They aired it on the Today Show organically, and the crew talked about it on air, and they started debating the different Gilmore guys in which it was feeling the most way. So it would honestly blew us away that it had such a reaction. We've over the last year looked for different ways to get Panera out into culture, and we started with a campaign platform at Just Meals Good, thinking about different meal occasions, and that can be either emotional or cultural, and this is an example of how we've tried to figure out cultural ways. So getting people talking about the things they love, coming to somewhere comforting like Panera for a soup, and then bringing your friends in, having it be a conversation. So that was our big thing.
Amazing. So now that we've seen all three collabs and talked a little bit about the collaborations and the results, kind of an open-ended question to the panel is, do you think there's a formula to creating a cultural phenomenon, or is it just luck and timing?
Yeah, I would say, I think I said the three things that we kind of ask ourselves all the time are, is this relevant for our brand and business? Is it relevant in culture, and is it relevant for our audience? I think, there's debates all over LinkedIn about, whether people should be jumping in on Taylor Swift's engagement or not, or, what the hot meme is of the week, or trend on social of the week. And I think how we feel is if we can, put a unique spin on it, and make it unique for our audience, then we have every right to play there. And I think we've really done that well with our brand platform, and tying it back to our food, and tying it back to our meal occasion, so that we can give a unique perspective to our audience during cultural moments.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we moved pretty quickly too, honestly. Like this partnership came together pretty quickly towards the end. We've been planning a lot for soups, but then when the right partners fell into place and we noticed like conversations were really peaking, we've got like a really open dialogue and we're able to say like, does this feel right? Is it timely? Is it timely for us? And we go hell yes, hell no, and never hell maybe. Like we just go all in and we go for it. So I don't know if that's a formula, but it's something that we live and die by, and it's gotten results so far. So that's
I would say maybe speed is a huge part. I know it was also talked about in the last panel, but that's a huge part, I think, of the formula and success as well in culture.
Great. Another question is, what was unique about this collab and how you brought this to life compared to ones you've done previously?
Yeah, I can jump in. So for Chips Ahoy, we've had other collabs in the past with Kith, with partnerships with Keke Palmer. And I would say this was our first where we, did a huge, like full funnel activation where the partnership touched everything. From, not just the recipe, but the graphics, the everything. And I would say that it began even from the brief. So I've never worked with a partner where they actually are writing the creative brief with you, reviewing every single asset along the way and coming on the shoot. And like they were very, very involved because this is a very precious property that, everybody, there were a lot of people involved on their side and it had to live up to certain standards. And so I think that's what probably put this next level for us is by the partner being so involved in every single step of the way, it made it very authentic for their fans and true to their fans as well as our brand. So some of the conversation, it was showing up on like comicbook.com or fan pages for them, like this collab, because we partnered with them so closely. And I don't think we haven't done that in the past, but it was really, really helpful.
I would also add on our side, similarly to yours, we've done many collabs in the past, and this was probably the first one that was truly integrated and through the line, similarly to what you said, but we created such an integrated consumer ecosystem and journey where the messaging was so cohesive. It was truly omni-channel. Every touch point was so meticulously planned out in terms of what we were going to say, how we were going to re-engage, how we were going to drive them to purchase to an on-premise account or to purchase off-premise, whatever that may be. So when you kind of looked around, we really appeared to be everywhere and giving the same cohesive omni-channel story to our consumers. And that was probably the first time we'd ever really done that in such an integrated way across paid, owned, and earned, and not in silos.
Yeah, this, similarly, while I don't know if we were as meticulous about a 360 integrated approach because of how quickly we moved, this was the first time that we put a meal in our app with, the celebrity promotion. So you could order the Fall for Your Favorites meal in our app. We have one of, the largest loyalty bases, My Panera members. So we were really excited to promote that and, to get the soups positioned in that way, driving people from our social post and Jared Padalecki's page, knowing the organic traction that we were getting to drive them into our ecosystem to actually purchase the soups.
Amazing. So in the final 2 minutes, kind of a quick fire question for all of you is, what advice would you give to brands or creatives who want to move from a collab to something truly cultural?
I can start.
You can start. Go for
I mean, really quickly, I think I said most of it earlier, but be authentic. Be authentic to your brand and who your brand is. Be authentic with who you're collaborating. Make sure there's an organic love between the collaborators, shared vision, shared values. And I also always say, we want, of course, in the end, to be cultural phenomenons. We want virality, but you can't set out short term with that being your one and only goal, right? Because most of the time, if you try to do that, it'll be the opposite result, I would say. So if you go in with a very thoughtful approach that's really rooted in all of those things that we talked about, this authenticity and organic nature of a partnership, I think it's more likely that you're going to get to a cultural phenomenon or virality, or whatever goal you seek.
Yeah, we kind of build on that too. I would say, don't try to be everything to everyone. The writers who wrote that spot were like deep Gilmore Girls fans. They were deep in the lore. So there's some people didn't laugh in here, and that's okay actually, because if you didn't watch the show, you're not going to get it. But the people who laughed, deeply laughed, and they commented on it. They loved it. So I think just show up as a fan, show up with the same kind of love for the collaboration, the property that your fans will have. And then there's going to be more of a connection, a deeper connection that you can build on. And it's going to resonate more. Like the Today Show placement just landed in a producer who happened to be a massive fan, and she laughed, put it on air, and then Carson Daly pretended like he'd never heard of Gilmore Girls before. But it didn't matter. It got on air, and it was awesome.
One last build is when you know you have something, go all in. I would say we had another program planned in the summer. I decided to cut funding from that and shift it to this, to just go all in and make it as big as we could.
Hell yeah.
So go all in.
I would say also set a vision. You just saw, 3 very different interpretations of getting into culture with very different KPIs. So I would say very early on, set what you're setting out to do. And, obviously you can adjust along the way, but don't try to have something, do too many jobs. There's room obviously for other work in your campaigns to do other things for you. If, you're really setting out to make an impact in culture, drive earned media impressions, drive social conversation, make an impact, with an activation, then, make sure you're sticking to it and being very honest with yourself along the way if you think you're going to achieve those goals or not.
Well, thank you all, and cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.